Welcome back to Lead the Way Pod. Chris, thank you for joining episode 3. Would you be able to introduce yourself for us, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chris Waller from WePowerOn, a men's walking and talking group which I started around about 2.5 years ago, over in Epsom, Surrey.
Oh, okay. So, could you tell us a bit about yourself, your background kind of story?
Yeah, sure. So, bit about myself. Where do you want me to start, Carl? Do you want me to start with how WePowerOn was born, or do you want me to start with about just me in general?
First you in general, so then we can get the sort of build up to what made you sort of start all of this.
Okay. It's, don't know. It's a hard one to answer that. So I started out really. I went to. I'm from a little place, a little city called Coventry originally, and then I moved away from there and I went to study media at university, and then I left there. I went into the music industry very briefly, with a tiny little career, but not much. It was just more exciting than anything else. And then I went more into media. I went into a little bit of TV work and web design and design. And that was like, I guess, early part of my life, career wise. And then from there, really, I did that for quite a long time. And then from there, I had various sort of like office jobs, doing bits and bobs, but kept a hand in doing sort of like little bits of web design and websites, and a little bit of media. But and then in the last uh 10 years, 9, 10 years, working in a little bit of finance.
So you must be quite intelligent with maths then.
Super intelligent.
Oh well, I'm looking for an
Uh,
accountant, Chris.
Not
If
really.
if the if the advertisement's there.
No, not really. It's just, you know what? It's having the ability to talk to people is more than anything else. That's what it's about, and connecting. Um, that's what I do. Build relationships.
Okay, so what made you want to, obviously you're the founder of WePowerOn. What made you how was it born if people don't know about it, and how can people sort of support the cause as well?
Okay, so We Power One was born out of. I've said it before. It was born out of necessity, really, because during the lockdown, um, I was pretty much. It's hard. There's one side of it where I was isolated, another side of it where I was having to still work, and I was having a very difficult time in my life. And part of that difficult time in my life was having suicidal thoughts and not really wanting to be around, which is not very healthy for you at all. It's, I felt a little bit, some days, that impending sense of doom, and I didn't really want to get up, but I did. And with the sort of work that I was doing, it's very front facing, and I was still talking to people. So you still got to put a smile on your face and carry on. Um, but inside you're absolutely crushed. So having to do that constantly, you're lying to yourself, um, and hiding what's going on inside with the emotions. It was really difficult. It truly was a very difficult time, for myself. But it was you, you get lost in it a lot. Um, yeah, that's where I was in that period of time, which in reflection to that, I think maybe sometimes there was like some history behind it, and then it just took a moment in time to bring it to the surface.
Okay, so could you? First of all, I'm sorry about that, Chris, but obviously that's what made
Oh,
WePowerOn
don't
born.
be don't be sorry. Don't be sorry about it, because you know what? I've turned it around and made it into a super strength. Because it's I've got my anchor, I've got Fiona, and my family, and it was truly, honestly, not it was truly difficult because I when I did that talk at Wembley and on the stage, and I was the first one to go up there, I actually didn't even know what I was going to say, and I had like probably about 1,000 words to say all at once of like what happened to me, why I was there, why am I on the stage, how am I going to address this, and um, you almost have like a blank moment. You go, I'm suddenly in front of all these people. I'm about to open up what actually really happened to me, um, and I kind of said that I was suffering with depression, and I had to do something about it. Fiona found me in the shed, um, on the floor because I was trying to fix a bench in here, and she said that I kept repeating myself, and I didn't really know what was going on at all. And then she said I looked like I was having a heart attack. What I was having was a massive anxiety attack, without actually knowing what's going on. It's a very strange situation to be in, and you almost blank out the whole that moment in time. But you kept saying you were repeating yourself, and I'm like, "Am I?" I didn't even know that was happening. Um, and then she got me up and went in the house, and we had a chat. And then I remember I called the doctor on the Monday, because I think that was a Saturday or a Sun. I think that was a Sunday, and I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor organised some CBT sessions, which is cognitive therapy. It's like talking therapy. So you only get a couple of sessions of that. You get around about 6, 7 sessions. And they say if you need more, you can ask for them, but you'd have to wait for it. But that was kind of it. You're left a little bit at a loose end after that. Um, and then I started going out for walks as well, and I called a friend of mine called Roy, an old college friend, and he's one of those friends who you can call up at any time. And it's not as if I spoke to him last week. It could be like 15 years since I last spoke to him. And he, I told him what was going on myself, and he completely broke down and said that he'd been going through the same himself. So we started video calling each other, and going out for walks while I was going up on the downs. So we did it every day. We just called each other every single day in the morning, for like well over a month, and then we talked it through with each other. Yeah, that's kind of like where it was born.
I suppose it teaches you that speaking to each other is such a powerful weapon. Like being able to open up is really difficult. It's like a few days ago, I released an episode where I spoke about how I sort of started out in life, and I've been getting a lot of support about that. I mean, even on the help bank calls, when when you get me to introduce myself, it's such a heart-pounding story. Like it's so difficult at times, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And there's more to that whole story than just that. I'm giving like blocks of what happened there, without having to go like too deep into it. But yeah, I was just in a very unstable time in my life where I was really panicking. One, I was panicking about finances because you thought the world was going to end basically, and I was spending way too much money on things like shopping because it got really expensive. And you don't know if your job's going to end and how you're going to afford the bills. And anyone that has to pay bills or look after themselves, or a family or anything like that, it, I can imagine there was loads of people that were panicking at that moment in time. So yeah, it went on like that. But yes, talking, addressing the situation. And I always say what's key is, um, if you can talk about the most difficult time in your life and be open with it, which I was when I spoke when I went to did that talk at Wembley, um, then you open the door to other people to come forward and try and get help themselves. Because if you can show that you can talk about it, then it helps someone else talk about where they are. And since I started this and started talking about my own situation, I've had, I don't know how many people I've had message me. Well over 100 people. When I say over 100 people come on that walk, it doesn't sound like. Sometimes I go, it doesn't sound like, but actually, it's loads because that walk is only in one tiny area up
Yeah.
here. But on the socials and the emails that I get, it's hundreds of people that have come through who want to connect.
Okay. So, could you tell us about all of the achievements you've had? I know you're quite a celebrity at the moment with all of the interviews you're having and all that sort of kind of thing. I mean, you're getting recognized for the amazing work you do. What's going on? What achievements have you had so far?
It's do you know what? I I I can tell you, I didn't even know I was up for any of these achievements. I got the bravery award from making a difference with the BBC. And Dame Jacqueline Wilson chose me out of all the people, which was incredible. It's just I didn't even know I was up for that. To be nominated for that occasion is something outstanding. It I was really embarrassed at first because it's like I do this because people just need help, like myself, and it's my own type of therapy is to take people with me walking and talking. Um, Plus, it helps other people. Um, and I didn't really want to, I don't know, if people feel as if they want to celebrate it because they've got something from that, I shouldn't sort of like not accept that that's what they've done. I've realized that because at first like no, this is it. So like, actually we should shout about it and we should shout about it even more so more people know that there are people just like myself out there that are willing to talk about difficult times they've gone through in their lives, which gives people like yourself a voice and other people. That's why we do the Monday night motivation, to give people voices.
Yeah, of course. So I can guarantee, Chris, that I'll be joining you on one of your walks in the near future, because they sound incredible. You know, you can just open up, which is really important. But if people wanted to support you, Chris, do you have like a website where they can donate, or where is the motivational Monday based? Is it a Discord?
Yeah, so you can join me on Discord every Monday night at 8:30. So with Discord, people find it kind of hard, I think, to join Discord. I don't know what. I think they just can't work it out. So I think what I'm going to do is probably just launch a Zoom alongside of it, so people can join the Zoom. It might make it a lot easier, and probably leave the Instagram live as well. I've done that a couple of times, which seems to help out. But if you go to www.wepoweron.co.uk, you can join from there. It's got a link tree, which will take you to the page. Um, but yeah, you should be able to find me, and you can definitely find me on Instagram. Lucky enough, Helpbank host or they post a link out every Monday afternoon for the Monday motivation on there, which is great.
So, I know, Chris, that you have merch. I've seen your amazing t-shirts and hoodies. Are they going to be in production? Will people be able to buy them? Because I certainly will be when they're available.
Yeah, yeah, soon enough. We'll have a new batch of t-shirts and we'll have some new hoodies coming up. Hopefully before Christmas. And we can get them out there to people to help support us. Anything because I'm registered as a CIC, which sits in between like a charity and a limited company. So it kind of means it's a non-profit. So I don't make anything from it from myself personally. So anything that comes in just helps support us so that we can get more reach in terms of spreading what we do around around the country really and well globally because that the Discord channels helped us reach global status, We're
Oh,
talking people all over the place, which is like incredible, absolutely incredible. Um, yeah, I think it's been really helpful in terms of talking to different people in different countries, and then coming on and finding their voice where they need a little bit of help. Some people just come on just to actually get the motivation. Some incredible stories on there, like the young lady from Spain who was really unsure about like speaking up at work, and she came on a couple of times, and she went back to work and used something I said to her, and she got a promotion. I'm like, I should have remembered what I said to her. It's like, what did I say? But isn't that mad that things like that happen? So it means that there's there's some purpose and value in what we're doing here. Not just on the Mondays, but on the Sundays and every week on here. So it's very eventful
yeah.
what goes on with WePowerOn. Plus, we've got our local our council is involved with us now. And we did a huge walk with the Samaritans up on the Downs, which was joined by I think he's like one of the heads of the Samaritans. He's an OBE. I do have his name. He's on the Instagram, um, which was amazing. And also hosted by the Jockey Club as well. They allowed us to use their rooms up there. Um, we've had some amazing connections in this borough. I always say, and I've said this for a long time, because people were asking me at first, like quite a while ago, are you going to set up walks all around the country and do them in different places? And I said, no, you need to build your own community first. Just build your community where you are, make it really strong, and then if someone feels empowered enough to put it somewhere else, then put it somewhere else. Um, I feel really strongly about that. Although I'm not adverse to someone going, can I do a walk elsewhere and quote We Power On? Absolutely, yeah, use it because we've got a really good strong name and people know what it is. Um, yeah.
Okay, so thank you for joining us on episode 3, Chris. I appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy man. But yeah, thank you for doing what you do for the community as well. It's not too many people would be willing to do what you do, so thank you, Chris.
All right, mate. Thank you so very much for having me on here. But look after yourself, and I'll see you on Monday on the Discord, which is powered by Helpbank with Simon Scribbs. Should we put that on there as well?
We should.
Um, feel that'll help out in some sense. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.